really, really talented. Diamond Stone, in my opinion, is an NBA player, but they still have got good depth at that spot. They've got, certainly some good players. Dodd was good against us last year. I would assume they'd start him. Maryland is the most talented team, top to bottom, I would say, in our league, just from an individual standpoint. I think they got 5 NBA players. Now Stone's one of them. He's out. But, my opinion, their starting 5 with Stone in it is full of NBA players. They play hard. They're well coached. So it's a tough task for us because they've got the most talent, if not in the league, but in the country. Melo Trimble, one of the best point guards in the country. Suleiman is as hard of a playing guard as you're going to find. Jake Layman is extremely versatile. Robert Carter's extremely versatile. So they've got a lot of firepower. So it's going to be a tough task for us, but we got to be ready to roll.
Wisconsin almost beat them at home and beat them on the road. Did they leave some clues there? What did they do?
Wisconsin had the game won at their place too. I don't know if won. It was a close game. I wouldn't say they had won. I mean, Maryland missed some big free throws at Wisconsin. I don't know. Wisconsin plays so differently. Their length is so different than ours from a 1 through 5 standpoint. So I don't know how much I can draw from that one game because it's only one game. You look back, they're an extremely talented team. So we've got to do our best to play our game.
Well, you talk about how good their guards have been, but I mean your guards, Nate, Dupree, and Kevin, have all seemed like they've improved, and especially Nate, he scored double digits the past couple of games. Kind of what have you seen out of those 3 in these past couple of games?
Like Nate last game had 0 points in the first half versus Iowa. And when in the past he may have lost a little confidence, he got it back in the second half, which I really like to see. That's a bit of a breakthrough for Nate to do that. And, I think he had 14 points in the second half, 6 assists, one turnover. Kevin is still, we've been playing him at the 2, and maybe it's helping him a little bit. He's still got to stop getting his shot blocked so much. He's driving into trees a little bit too much. Made a really good 3 off of a driving kick. Made some nice passes to Joey off a driving kick. So Kevin's getting more stable, turning the ball over less. And then, like I said with Dupree, I think he's just showing very good gradual improvement. I think more than anything, it was his size and speed that was getting to him a little bit early.
Obviously, a number of these recent losses have been, close. You felt like you could have won. Disappointing. Have you seen a change in the way your team has responded to those losses, whether it's for better or for worse?
Yeah, it's been a lot of close losses for a year and a half. It has been a lot of close losses. They've been resilient. I will say that there hasn't been a lot of feeling sorry for yourselves. I do think when you have a young team, it's easier to do than when you have an older team. Like last year was a little bit hard, because we were getting all these close losses, and you have 4 seniors on the team. I think 4 seniors. Where now younger guys can kind of understand that this is a process. But yeah, it's been difficult, but they've bounced back pretty good. We're playing our best basketball. I thought the Iowa game we played the best we played all year. We just got to find a way to win.
Offensively, losing Morris 10 points a game or so. I'm not sure what he was scoring in the last several games, but coming off the bench, who are you expecting to kind of help?
Got to look at a couple different things. Kevin at the 2 is something we could slide guys over to. Look at Steph. Steph gives us a lot defensively. So as long as, like I said, knock on wood, there's no injuries and there's not a lot of crazy foul trouble, it's manageable. But we're already pretty thin to begin with. So fortunately, we don't have a whole lot left in the season. But we're just going to have to make do with what works and see who could step up.
And then Dorsey obviously played quite a bit, had his best game when Morris was at the funeral at Indiana. Is that, you take 20 points from Dorsey, but is that similar to possibly the kind of rotation or minutes that Dorsey might see?
Yeah, I think a lot of Dorsey, Indiana game was a track meet, and I think Dorsey was the beneficiary of that because we were just getting out and running, and he's really good at that. When the game slows down, that's where he has some challenges. So I think we will look at playing him and Nate together and that's something we'll go to early to make up for this.
I wanted to ask about BK. You were kind of talking about his enthusiasm the other day when he'll come out of the game, just that intensity. He slapping people's hands and he's almost breaking people's hands off. Is that part of the issue with him? Just almost getting him to just calm down because
Yes.
he is so enthusiastic.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
everything.
very much so. But I mean, you'd rather calm somebody down than get them going. I think that's always something as a coach that you'd rather have. His expression, you'd rather tone down a Bronco than warm up a corpse. And with BK, that's him. You got to calm him down. But I like it. I do like it. He freaked out last game because nobody would throw him the ball. And you had to calm him down, like, relax, Keyshawn Johnson. We'll get you the ball. And but I love that about him. He plays really hard. He's very passionate, and he wants to be great. And it's nice to see. I thought that was probably his best game, just from a stability standpoint, rebounding. Thought he really did a good job there.
Do you get a lot of guys complaining about playing time during the course of a year, especially if you're not winning? Because there's always, if you're winning, there's nothing to change. But
Yeah.
is that a common?
I mean, every team is different, but this team, not really. I always have the answer. If you're not playing, there's a reason. Do this, and you'll play more. Everybody wants to play, and then they got opportunities, whether it's through practice, whether or not it's during the game, et cetera. So it's we've got a pretty decent balance of guys playing. The only one who really doesn't play a lot is Gas, so I can understand he's probably frustrated with it, but he's just not there just yet. So I think for the most part, everybody's been pretty good about it.
You feeling like maybe the guys are getting a little more confident when it comes to free throw shooting? It's been the last 3
Evidently, yeah. Last 3 games, they've been good. Last game, Ben Johnson goes, our free throw shooting's much better, and then we missed 3 in a row. So I told him, please don't say that again during the year, during a game. But it has been better. Now, I think the 3rd game was Northwestern. A lot of that had to do with those free throws didn't really matter as much. But Dupree looks better. I think Murph looks better at the line. So hopefully that's something that we continue to build off of.
Kind of off base, but how do you feel like Jarvis Johnson has handled the year? Has he found like a niche or a role that he's comfortable in?
He has handled the year better than any guy I would ever imagine in the country. Comes every day. Like some kids would, maybe they disappear during practice, go down to the locker room, watch TV or whatever. He never does it. I mean, he is there. He is involved. He is a great influence. He's a special kid. I mean, he's one of those guys like when we, stop practice for a water break, he's grabbing a ball, he's going in and he's shooting like every time. So he loves the game, he loves being around it. So I certainly feel for him. But he has handled it as maturely as any kid I've ever seen. And that's kind of a testament to him, his parents, his coaches. I mean, they did a great job with him. He's about as low maintenance as it gets.